It's the grand opening of the Comox First Nation new administrative building, and this is Go Island. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. Here for the grand opening of the Comox First Nation building. It is spectacular. It is so beautiful. It captures everything about the West Coast and about West Coast living and everything about their heritage. So stay with us while we get to tour the building later through the show. And we hope to have a couple of interviews with the chief and whoever else we can snag. It's going to be a busy day, so we'll have to see who we can get. Thank you so much for staying with us, but we're going to start right here in the Comox Valley with this. A few months ago, we had the privilege and honor of meeting Calvin Hunt while he was working on these gorgeous new totem poles with his apprentices, Randy Frank and Carver Everson, and they have turned out absolutely magnificently. And they now adorn the front of the new administrative building for the Comox First Nation here in Comox territory. This is beautiful. So if you have not seen it, definitely take a drive up Dyke Road along Comox Road till you come here. Come and park your car and come have a look because it is spectacular. So right now we're going to head up to Campbell River for this. The ceiling and the lights are a great example of how modern works beautifully with heritage and culture and the use of the wood. It is spectacular and really a neat effect. So congratulations to everyone involved in the project. Well done. And now coming up is going to be an interview with the chief right after this. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We are on location today at the Comox First Nation, right in front of their spectacular new administrative building and the magnificent poles that were carved by Calvin Hunt and Carver Everson and Randy Frank. Seeing your son involved in the carving, what was that like for you?
I think watching that, what it does is it reminds me of where we came from. It reminds me of where we're going to. It's people like Carver that are going to make that bridge between the past, the present, and the future. You know, those kids, those young people, they're our future, whether it's dancing and singing or carving or cedar weaving. Those young people are the ones that we need to enable to move forward with regards to their culture.
Now, Chief Everson, how long did it take you for this project from conception to completion?
From conception to completion, we're looking at about, I'd say about a year and a half.
Okay. And what was it like working with your architect?
Working with the architect has been great. What we did is he brought his plans to us, which we did not like. We came back to him with some plans that reflected more of our culture.
Yes.
And he took that and really knocked it out of the park and came up with a structure that we can all be proud of.
And you worked closely with Lacasse Construction through the whole project, and that has resulted in this magnificent building. Are you pleased with the end result?
I'm so pleased with the end result. Lacasse Construction and more in particular Rick Lacasse and Kay Lacasse, they're just unbelievable to work with. I can't say enough about how professional and how well they executed the design and the build on this process. The little details and you know, every once in a while they would come to the table with ideas of their own that we incorporated into the building that made sense and reflected truly what we wanted this building to reflect for all our people.
Now that you have this building, this is a wonderful resource. What will it mainly be used for?
This building will be used for all our KFN administration and governance, as well as most of our economic development.
Okay. Now, economic development and First Nations, that is a growing trend. You see what the Osoyoos Band has done. Now, are you looking to some of those that have been very successful in that to develop your own path?
Economic development, in my opinion, is the only way that First Nations can move forward into the future. I don't believe in handouts. I believe that given their fair share, First Nations, through sound business practice and economic development, will be able to create sustainable life for not only themselves, but for generations to come.
Well, that is well said. Congratulations again on this magnificent building, and please let us know at the next phase, because I understand there's still some more interesting artistic pieces that will be coming in.
There's a few more really neat things that are going to be put into the building, and I'll let you know.
Okay, that's awesome. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Thanks so much for staying with us. We are on location at the new Comox First Nation Administrative Building grand opening. It has been a wonderful morning of ceremony and celebration. And upcoming, we have interviews with the head carver and his 2 apprentices. So stay tuned for that right after this. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We are at the Comox First Nation in front of their brand new administrative building, which is absolutely spectacular, made more so by the 2 totem poles carved by head carver Calvin Hunt, his apprentice Carver Everson, and another apprentice Randy Frank. How do you gentlemen feel seeing them raised now?
Well, actually, we were here last night when we were standing them up, and it's always neat to see them after they were a raw log. They've given up their life, and it's like they're being reborn when you're standing them back up. They're coming back to life. It's just great to be part of this building and to be able to carve these kind of.
Now, how do you feel about your 2 apprentices that helped you on this project?
Well, these guys did a wonderful job. I was telling Carver and Randy last night, it's time for them to take over. Because over the years, I've done a lot of work down here, and it's, you've got some carvers down here. I think they're more than capable.
What did you learn on this project, Carver?
Oh, just copious amounts of information, everything, Calvin has so much to put forward in terms of culture, his and how he controls the wood, everything, I was just a sponge and just trying to absorb everything and learn as much as I could, because I'm always going to learn something with Cal, forever. He just is such a good carver. It's just great to be working with him. Yeah.
And Randy, how about you? What are you taking away from this project?
I'm taking tons away. Just the fact that these poles are going to be here forever, as long as we're going to be here. It's been remarkable to work with Cal and with Carver, and to actually see him stood up last night was almost brought me to tears. So it's kind of nice it's kind of emotional as well. So, and I think we've learned quite a bit from Calvin Hunt over the summer months, and just learning how to finish things off properly, and actually seeing them go up last night was amazing.
Now, Calvin, how long did this project take from the choosing of the log right through to completion?
It was close to 4 months. Originally we wanted it 3 months, but we did have problems getting the logs at first, so we started late. But the whole project was supposed to be 3 months, so it was close, just a little over.
Now, once again, as Chief Everson was saying, you've done a number of logs and a number of totem poles here in the Comox Valley. When you drive around and you happen to catch a glimpse of one of your totems that has been raised out of the corner of your eye, does it take you back to doing that particular totem pole?
Boy, there's always great memories, when you're doing these kind of projects, like the poles at Lewis Park, being carved by my grandfather, Mungo Martin, and, actually getting to copy those old poles. And finding out the history of why those ones were replaced from the ones that originally stood there. So just, those kind of jobs, that was a good one, good learning experience. And there's not a lot of guys that copy totem poles, and that's kind of a specialty of ours as well.
All right, well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations. They are magnificent. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Go Island is on location at the Comox First Nation Administrative Building grand opening. We are standing in the staircase, which is purely exhibits how it is a modern building, but yet incorporates so much of the First Nations culture, especially the use of wood throughout the building. And now we're going to have a look at this. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Go Island is on location at the Comox First Nation Administrative Building. We're having a look around at some of the architectural aspects, like these beautiful wood timbers, wood frame on all of the offices. It is truly magnificent. So if you have a chance, come on down and see it in person. Congratulations to Chief Everson and the entire Comox First Nation band on a wonderful job. Great example of incorporation of modern and cultural heritage. Coming up next, this. Go Island has been on location today at the Comox First Nation new administrative building celebration. And the two totem poles that now adorn the front are absolutely magnificent. So congratulations to everyone involved in the building of this new building and the establishment of it and today's ceremony. It was truly magnificent. Thanks so much for staying with us. We're going to see you again on Thursday. Until then, have a fabulous week.